I recently seen all 10 episodes of the Good Times Remake. And in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be breaking down what I got from it. So hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into this one. The very first episode starts off with the father, i.e. Reggie Evans, singing and dancing along to the Good Times original anthems of the 70s sitcom. He's singing and dancing with a cockroach. And that right there was a moment where I'm like, okay, cool, because they live in the hood, they gotta have roaches. Okay, cool. One thing I experienced, even though I moved out of the hood, if you have dirty enough friends anywhere in the world, or if you know dirty people who don't clean their house, they'll have roaches. That wasn't to offend, but I'm just telling the truth here. If they're dirty enough, they'll have roaches. So he's singing and dancing along to the Good Times theme with a cockroach, which was the first red flag. And, the cast of characters I'm going to list off right here. J.B. Smoove plays Reggie Evans, the father. Yvette Nicole Brown plays the mother, i.e. Beverly Evans. Jay Farrell plays the eldest son, i.e. Junior Evans. Marissa Martin plays the sister, Ray Evans. And Slink Johnson plays the drug-dealing baby, Dalvin. You know what I mean? And it's ironic, ladies and gentlemen, that they have a drug-dealing baby in a show. I don't know about you, but I really had enough of the talking baby trope, especially a drug-dealing baby. That knocked it out the park for me. I think the talking baby thing was due to Seth MacFarlane being on the show, but we won't get into that. So, there I am watching the show, and I'm looking for a glimmer of hope. Besides that roach scene, I clocked out. I couldn't tell you what happened in the rest of the first episode, but the references, the cultural misinterpretation, misrepresentation of the black culture was prominent in this show. It's like they were trying to get a laugh off of making jokes of the African American community. The black woman with the really long eyelashes, she had her own salon, Lashes by Lisa or whatever, and all her homegirls were obese, overweight black women. They gossiped about everybody in the community. They had a bunch of kids. There was a bunch of single moms. That right there was a trope in itself that really infuriated me. So with that being said, I was flabbergasted at just seeing that. Like, they were in a line, and Beverly, this one in particular episode, Beverly was trying to get people to vote for her, to be the new, president of the property, and i.e. a landlord. So, long story short, the previous landlord, and forgive me for not knowing her name, the previous landlord, they had a Raleigh, she had a Raleigh, right? And she had a Henry's Chicken truck, a fast food Henry's Chicken truck, and it's a knockoff. It's an absolute knockoff of KFC, right? It was it was playing ice cream themed music, and then all of a sudden it threw on hip hop twerk music, and you have these servers twerking on top of the cars, and even the previous president of the property, i.e. the landlord, was twerking along with them, and she was quoting a slogan, "It ain't that bad, it ain't that bad." Now mind you, it was an apartment complex, and by complex I mean it was a skyrise, it was a high-rise apartment, and the stairs were missing. Some of the floors had strands of hair as steps, improvised ladders, and they had rats that would rob people at gunpoint. I remember watching episode 8 or 9, I believe, and they had someone, like this character named Hood Rat. It was a rat with a ski mask and a handgun. I said, bro, how racist and derogatory can you be? Really? So it was like they were trying to take every African American term and make a joke out of it. Had this show, right? And I gotta give a major shout out to Double Toasted, because I was watching their take on this. Had this show been slapped with another title, and all the racist, derogatory jokes been taken out, and just make a bunch of regular references and regular jokes, you know what I mean, that's okay to really have on a show or for a show. Like, you know what I mean? Just not just, okay, you know, we're black, you know, we're overweight, we're single moms. Like, no, take that out. If it was a bunch of, you know, women who, you know, supported Beverly and whatnot, and some were, you know, in shape, some were out of shape, some had kids, some didn't, some, you know, had husbands, some had boyfriends, some, you know what I mean? Like, it's like when it comes to the black community, it's a mixture of things, you know what I mean, that we do. Not every black woman is a single mother. I'm here to tell you the truth. A lot of black women that I know have the fathers involved in their children's lives, and some of them even live with their significant other, and they raise kids together in a very intelligent household. So then there's that. You know, there wasn't a single speck of intelligence, or a glimmer of hope of intelligence in that show. Like I said, if they had hired different screenplay writers, they would have took Norman Lear off the project, because this is all part of his doing mainly. Because he wanted the original sitcom. He wanted the original, right? He wanted the original 70s sitcom to be like this, with all kind of hood boogery going on, black people portrayed in a comical manner, you know, in a racist comical manner. And James Amos and, you know, Esther Rolle, they wasn't standing for it. I made a live stream and I was discussing this just yesterday. John Amos and Esther Rolle, they wasn't standing for that in the 70s, and they got their way. John Amos, you know, he uses celebrity power to threaten to sue, you know, Norman Lear in the production company. He said, hey, if we can't have an intelligent black family sitcom, you know what I mean? We can't have an intelligent black family on a sitcom on this network. We're not doing the show. We're not doing it. I'll walk off. I'll leave. You can hire someone else. And major shout out for James Amos for that. You know what I mean? He threatened to sue, and he got his way. You know, so did Esther Rolle. You know, they stood up for black families at the time, and, you know, for intelligence in the community, you know, and got their way with the show. But the sad part was they had to kill off John Amos's character when the series ended. You know, I mean, and it's sad because in the original sitcom, the family got out of the hood, you know, at the end of the series. You know, J.J. Evans, he began working for a production company. And Michael, he went off to college and everything like that. And my thing is, everything was going good. You know what I mean? They built generational wealth. So I did not understand. And I could have gotten some facts wrong. No, forgive me. I'm born in 89. And, you know, I don't really recall, you know, the entire synopsis of the show, because I was a baby watching, you know, these shows with my mom. And I was like 10, 13 years old back when I used to watch with my grandma, when they had the reruns on TV. But anyway, long story short, all I know was the original sitcom was nothing like this. Absolutely nothing like this. And it really blows my mind that some of the stuff that they greenlight, like from Netflix, they allowed on this show. I'm really surprised Netflix allowed some of this on the show. But the original sitcom stood for integrity. Yes, no dysfunctional family. You know what I mean? With J.J. Evans being goofy sometimes, and you know, Michael, you know what I mean, having conflicts with JJ, or the sister having no conflicts with the brothers, or whatever. And it's normal, you know what I mean? Florida Evans having no ups and downs with James, you know what I mean? It was cool. It was a regular family. But I don't know why they had to kill off, you know, James Evans for the family to have generational wealth. But anyway, long story short, it was still wholesome by the time the series ended in the 70s. So when they made this remake, when talks came out, and I, you know what I mean, started seeing YouTube video after YouTube video talk about how bad the script writing was for the show, I thought it was a joke. I really thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, they ain't gonna greenlight this. I know Netflix all too well. They're not gonna greenlight this. And lo and behold, how the heck did we get 10 episodes of this? We shouldn't even have 8. You know what I mean? We shouldn't even have 8. We should have had none. We should have had none. You know, because I was looking for a glimmer of hope, you know, especially in the episode where they had Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and what's this guy's name? Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. But anyway, they had the 3 top billionaires in the episode. You know what I mean? And they're talking about how they plan to turn the projects into a AI-based, voice-based, super technology community, right? And what had me rolling, I ain't gonna lie, what made me laugh a little bit was the Jay-Z voice vehicle, the Jay-Z voiced AI vehicle. And when he said, you feckless, fat, I ain't gonna say the cuss word, he said, Google it, and he drove off. He said, I got 99 problems, I feel bad for you, son. And I heard the Jay-Z references, I said, hey, yo, no way. All right, that was cool. Hip-hop references, that's cool, that's fantastic. It's not nothing derogatory. There's nothing to really make fun of anybody. It's just the Jay-Z voice card was the smartest part of the entire, episode. I can say the Jay-Z voice card was the bright light of the entire series, really. But at the end of the day, I was like, I couldn't laugh. I couldn't have it rolling on the floor. I didn't have none of those moments with all 10 episodes. I was holding on with bated breath, waiting for a laugh. Every episode was ignorant black people, whether they were doing hood shenanigans like twerking on trucks, saying the N-word, the dad being a butt of the jokes instead of being taken serious, the mom and the dad taken seriously, and in the community, they was like, the father was the butt of the jokes, like he was completely stupid. Especially the episode where they mixed, like him and Junior was supposed to clean the house for Black Love Day for the mother, for Beverly. Lo and behold, the son was like, yo, Dad, here's the floor cleaner, here's the countertop cleaner, here's the toilet cleaner, let's get the cleaning, how we need to. Long story short, the dad said, oh no, you mix all these chemicals together, we'll be just fine. And he made this lye-based compound, and they all end up passing, they both end up passing out, nearly dying, until Beverly came home. And long story short, he wanted to do something special for his wife or whatever, and he promised her he would clean the house, and it just made the dad and the son the butt of the jokes. But the one character highlight was Junior in episode 9 and 10, and that's sadly where they made Junior join the gang, because he was impressed by this one girl, because he's always had a passion for painting. This kid was really bright. He was one of those, you never watched Pinky and the Brain, and I'm gonna give this Pinky and the Brain reference. Brain was supposed to have been the brains of the operation. Pinky was supposed to have been the stupid one, but scientists did a study back in, I think, 2017, 2018. They did a study, it was 2020. Sorry, 2020. They did a study on Pinky and the Brain as animated characters, and they came out, after all the sciences and hypothesis, they came to realize that Pinky was the intelligent one, Brain was the stupid one. And I say that to say, I use that reference to say Junior is more intelligent than the father. Even though they have him repeating 10th grade 3 times at Twista High School. That blew me away. I said, bro, I absolutely cannot with this show. So, and when he was painting, Scoochie's sister, Smoochie, or whatever her name was, he was painting Smoochie, and he asked her, brighten up a little bit, open up a little bit, and just relax, because he was saying how every color palette, that brings out, her beauty, especially when she smiles, how she lights up a room. And she strips naked, and gives him a Mona Lisa moment, and allows him to really paint her, like how in the movie Titanic, how the woman allowed her to be painted naked and whatnot, how allowed her to be drawn naked. Same thing in this moment, she stripped naked and she allowed him to paint her naked and everything like that. And she starts to fall in love with him, you know what I mean? But she tells him at the end of the painting, this is where our times end, you know what I mean? We can't connect, we can't vibe, you're not part of the gang. And she said, the only way you can connect with me is if you join the gang. And that's all she gave reference to. So he goes up to the brother Scoochie and be like, hey, Scooch, I want to join your gang. All the gang members in the next room end up laughing, busting out laughing. And he said, oh, there's no spots available. You know what I mean? And you hear a gunshot in the background for whatever reason, because it is based in Chicago. And long story short, he's spot just opened up. And he said, well, now we just gotta, have you put in the application and we gotta forward your resume. And he said, I ain't put no application in. And they just start beating him up. They start brawling on him. And that's how he joins the gang. But he starts, and as he starts like bulking up from lifting weights and all that, he starts developing intelligence, and dependability for himself. He starts speaking up for himself, because Junior, he was another one of the characters that was made fun of in the show as a goofball, as someone who was not all there, because he was taking drugs in, I think, episode 3 or 4. They went to their trap house to get him some ADHD meds. And it's crazy because they had a character based off of Chief Keef. And he gave all Chief Keef references, Love Sosa and all that. He's like, the gunshots started ringing out and whatnot. He said, no, they ain't gonna take me out, they love Sosa. And he got the 2 guns and everything. And that was the same guy that gave him the ADHD meds. He gave the dad, the mom, and the son the ADHD meds. So for Junior to take, he gave, Reggie, Beverly, and Junior the ADHD meds for Junior to take. So, long story short, shootout ensues, because it's in the hood. We can't have intelligent moments in the hood for some weird reason on this show. But, long story short, they continue to make black people the butt of all jokes even further, because he has an inside-out type of, episode where, he has control, he has creativity, he has thoughts, and they're all based off of, different characteristics and everything like that. And once, control, gets a hold of the ADHD meds, he becomes this big hulking monster, like, abs ripped and everything like that. And at the end of the episode, he ends up breaking out of his head, and none of Riley's emotions in Inside Out broke out of her head, you know what I mean? So, and it was really weird that they did that. Another racist, disrespectful moment is a Spider-Man reference, right? They took a Spider-Man reference. They tried to put their own spin on it. This kid gets a job at the local chicken joint, JR, right? JR gets a temporary job because, the dad's, taxi cab is down. And he has to have it repaired, so he was out of work. He said, "Yo, we'll get a job, son." And da-da-da. So what he did was he went and got a job. He applied for the local chicken spot, aka Henry's Fried Chicken. And long story short, he tries to put this one in particular chicken in the fryer, right? He tried to put this one chicken in the fryer, and it's so wild that it goes crazy. It goes down in the fryer finally, and it comes back out with some nuclear, super reactive chicken, and it bites him, and this man becomes a superhero chicken. I'm flabbergasted. I'm lost. I'm blown absolutely away. I said, bro, you could have had him working at a burger spot. You could have had him working at a taco joint. You could have had him working at a fine established restaurant. And none of this, you know what I mean? Absolutely none of this went into their heads when they made this series. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hold on, I'm going to take this call real quick. Hold on, y'all. So, besides the derogatory Chicken Man superhero episode, I got to talk about how black women were misrepresented in this series. There was an episode where Gray was going through puberty, i.e., getting her first period. And they go to the land of womanhood, which is like the land of Oz type thing. And they had these strippers and whatnot, all African American women. And they were twerking on a pole, you know what I mean? They was like caked up in makeup, and one was playing with her breast, and one was like had her butt, like swallowing the pole that she was dancing on, and guys was going crazy, and the guys in the mask was going crazy and everything like that. I was like, bro, wow. 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 Not a speck of intelligence. You know, not all black women are strippers. You know, not all black women twerk. You know, I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away, y'all. And I'm really serious. You really got to check it out. It's really in the episode. I can't make this up. So, when Gray is going through the land of womanhood, there's a group of people trying to stop them, and they're called the patriarchy. I said, you know what? I can't. And they viewed womanhood as, you know, if they could get rid of, you know, shame, they can do whatever they want, you know, and womanhood could take over. I said, oh my goodness, no, this is not what the original Good Times was about. I said, okay, cool, fine, fantastic. I had to sit through whatever that episode was. And like I said, I was just holding on with bated breath for a glowing moment, a gleaming moment, even at the end of the episode. You know, like a moment of morality. You know, back in the day, Tiny Toons, Animaniacs in the 90s, they had the morality wheel, or, you know, what you learn from the episode. You know what I mean? What you learn at the end of the day. For all the kids who used to tune into, you know, the animation block, you know, on channel like WB or whatever, back in the 90s. So, they had something on Animaniacs called the morality wheel, and it was always a life lesson. Sonic the Hedgehog in the 90s had a morality segment at the end of the episode and say, hey kids, drugs are bad, or don't do this, you know, don't be a bully, or something like that. Something moral, something to uplift the community, something to uplift the kids. I was looking for a moment like this in this remake, and I could not find nothing. You know, yeah, Beverly tried to be a good, you know, landlord. She tried to be a really good landlord, but at the end of the day, you know, when she fell asleep guarding the projects, they had the government, and they had a character called Allison Whiteman, or All White Men for short. And they brought all the guns into the projects. You know, one gang opened the door, saw a bunch of guns and missiles and whatever. The other gang opened their door on their side and saw a bunch of guns and missiles and everything. And they all shooting at each other in the projects. And not hitting a single one, but they shooting like crazy. And I'm like, bro, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I said, okay. So, at the end of the series, Junior joins the gang, and he goes from this nerdy, dumb kid, you know, who loves to paint, to a kid who's influenced by gangs as an automatic tough guy who can do anything and is ready to catch his first felony. And I'm just like, bro, I haven't even gotten into the part about the drug dealing baby. That's what's crazy. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna break it down real fast, as fast as I possibly can. Sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to really break down, you know, details about Devlin or Dalvin. You know, forgive me if I got that wrong, but we're going to break down this drug dealing baby. Hold on. Dalvin is a 1-year-old, or probably 8-month-old baby with waves, blonde dyed hair, a fade, you know what I mean? A stroller with pimped out exhaust, gold rims, a gold stroller, a gold chain with a banky at the end of it that's also made out of gold. And he's not only the Connect, and for all those who be in the streets, you know what Connect is. He's not only the Connect, he's the dealer, he's the drug dealer, he's the supplier, you know, and he's the most breast obsessed, because he's a baby. He's the most breast obsessed character, and on top of that, you know, he floods the community with drugs. And here, you know, Gray is protesting, you know, about how, you know, the government is supplying all the drugs and all this other nonsense, and, you know, we should protest this or protest that. Meanwhile, it's her little brother that's flooding the community with the drugs. I said, bro, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Not a shining moment of wisdom and intelligence in this remake. And if they make a season 2, ladies and gentlemen, I am not watching. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I thank every last one of you amazing subscribers, but I cannot force myself to watch this disrespectful, derogatory, ignorant remake of a show. And my thing is, if you wanted to really have character development for a specific character, i.e. Junior, you know, they should have done it by the 3rd or 4th episode, not wait till like the 9th or 10th episode. They really give them some character development to try to get people invested in watching, you know, the show. The crazy thing is, half the people who protest this show, they enjoy it because of the ratings. And my thing is, I couldn't. I enjoyed the Boondocks, okay? Yes, they had ignorant moments. But at the same time, Huey always had a moment of morality in the show. Granddad had a moment of morality in the show. You know, even Riley had a moment of morality in the show. Heck, they took Thugnificent, turned him from an ignorant, you know, gangster rapper to an intelligent, working 9-to-5 young man who was, you know, of course, still smoke weed every once in a while, but he would always tell, you know, Tom or a granddad some inspiring stuff to get their life together. You know, so I'm like, bro, oh my goodness, like, why is this remake so terrible? If they didn't have all the racist, disrespectful, derogatory stereotypes, and then I haven't even broken down how they made fun of Lord Jesus. They treated Lord Jesus like he didn't even care about his people. You know, like it was all some game to him. You know, and it's just insane. I couldn't. My review is I wouldn't watch this show. You know, I know this video was all over the place, but I didn't try to, you know, spoil too much. I just got to the main point of as many episodes as I possibly could. Like, I was just lost in the disrespect and stereotypes. You know what I mean? It's like these showrunners really tried to get a laugh off of stereotyping the black community. And there's many ways to get a laugh from the audience or from the viewers. You know, you don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be racist. You don't have to be derogatory to get a good laugh. You know, and that's my morality point of this video and take on this series. But anyway, I love you guys. I thank you all for tuning in. Smash that thumbs up button. Smash that like button. Thank you for 138 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it going. Let's keep our stride going. Let's hit 200 subscribers by June of 2024. But anyway, I love you guys. I thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.